What up, naughty steppers? It's Connor Whitmore here again with another video for you on the Nawtystep channel, and it's time to give some love to a few musicians who I think deserve way more of it. 5 producers across the dark electronic music scene whose talent and proficiency in the bass game warrant much more credit than they have gotten and are currently getting. All fantastic producers, underrated and criminally so. Just gonna spend some time here singing their praises for what they're doing for electronic music. Pushing boundaries with their art, doing so for several years and across multiple releases. Gonna give you some reasons as to why I love these particular producers and share some of my favourite tracks of theirs with you so I can hopefully get you guys into them too. As a rule, I'm going for producers under the 100k follower mark on SoundCloud because to me that represents a huge recognition not only within their specific genre or genres, but within bass music at large. This is why, for example, I had to ignore Aerochord for this video. I got the impression that he wasn't that well known, but apparently I was wrong. And so kicking off this video, we have one of the most unique electronic music producers of the last few years, Jameson Thieves. One of the quirkiest production styles, very energetic and experimental, manic but so colourful. With some of the most outlandish sounds fitting oozy electro synths into the most unusual backdrops, he's also been known to dabble in animal noises a fair bit. Produces in multiple genres from breakbeat to house, tribal, experimental, dubstep. He has a very fluid production style in that sense. He collaborates loads too, having worked with the likes of Ghastly, Yuki, Dirty Doses, Divide. There's so much to his repertoire. Also genuinely has some of my favourite drops of all time. Check out his remix of Trap Hands right now. Check it right now. Well, after you've watched this video, of course. Artists like him need more attention and praise for just going out there and excelling with whatever style they try. It's such ambitious stuff. He constantly flips our understanding of how music should sound on its head. It's so adventurous and uninhibited and full of life. Fleeting between his sound and structure coming together really well, and other times where it's just a bit weird and disjointed in the best way possible. Goes through different moods too, from heavy to soothing and seemingly everything in between, yet always with that really bright sound design and oodles of naughtiness. On a side note, he's also a very good tweeter. He comes up with some really thought-provoking and funny stuff, an appropriate reflection on his music, some may say. And he's been supporting Nawtystep from way back. I don't know if he remembers my written review of his track Get Down with Swaggle Rock and Yuki, but he was very complimentary of it at the time. I'd be interested to know if he recalls it. Underrated because he is, in my opinion, the most unique and experimental bass producer out there and has been for several years, and I don't think that many people recognise him as that. And if you're not that aware of Jameson Thieves, then some tracks to get you into his stuff. Oh Yeah with Dirty Doses, Alter Space, Kill 'Em in the Jungle, Get Down that I mentioned earlier, and his remix of Trap Hands, which I also mentioned earlier. Next up, we have Montreal duo Botneck, who undoubtedly have one of the most unusual house styles around. Vibrant, comical, cartoony music, surreal in both sound and structure. They certainly don't take themselves too seriously. Using some of the most obscure sounds, lending in part from the Nawtystep genre, ensuring that the focus is more on them than the house structure that they usually operate with. Said sounds ranging from swampy and underwater to the more fruity and well-rounded. Their bass is reliably plump and thick, and the ideas are riveting with so much personality and character to them. Some of their vocal samples are incredible as well, both hilarious and anthemic.
Kim Kardashian is dead.
Every time I listen to one of their tracks, I'm like, why, oh why do these guys not have way more of a following? Their stuff is so out there and forward-thinking, simultaneously strange and appealing. Underrated because they've been producing amazing songs for years now at a very high level and just aren't discussed in the higher echelons of dark electronic music producers full stop. But if you're not too aware of Botneck and would like some introductory tracks to get into their stuff, then I would look at Through the Night, Clickbait, Ocho Cinco Remix, Selfie remix, and Kermit with snails. Now another producer who doesn't take himself too seriously is Vermont-based The Frim. Very animated dubstep with one of the most invigorating styles within that sphere of music. So much going on in all of his tracks, always pushes his sound that bit further with every step he takes in any of his tunes. Arguably the most captivating, flamboyant dubstep producer out there, it's wild and wacky in the best way possible. A must for any dubstep fan in terms of understanding the complexities of that style of music and how playful it can be as a genre. For me, he should be seen as up there with the likes of Zomboy, Virtual Riot and all the other dubstep producers of that calibre. He probably needs a bit more of a catalogue under his belt, but production-wise I honestly don't see why he isn't recognised alongside those just mentioned. I mean, there's a reason Excision has collaborated with him on multiple occasions. I also see his track Duke Camp as up there with the very best dubstep or brostep tracks of all time. It has everything you'd want in a song of that nature, so complete. And he always seems to come out with one EP every year, so I'm very much looking forward to that whenever it comes out. To be honest, I think his sound is epic and wide-reaching enough to make an album. Probably not on his mind right now, but just a thought. Underrated in the sense that he isn't put right at the very top, where he should be considering the quality of his production and the wealth of stellar tracks he has to his name. Duke Camp, Swipe My Swords, Don't Do It, Thank Mr. Skeletal, his remix of Cyberbully by Barely Alive, and his collaborations with Excision. There are just so many. Following that, we have Parish duo A Glory, whose brutally dark vibes I absolutely love. It's haunting music at its finest and most accessible, bringing some of the moodiest tunes to the table, going through house and mid-tempo structures for the most part. Very earthy, gets right under your skin, etches itself into the very fabric of your being, crawling out having left a hole in your heart. Alienating in its essence, but pulls you right in through its hypnotic swing and allure. Self-proclaimed masters of the dark arts, one where I think I like the style more than loads of individual tracks per se, although they do have several tunes that I really enjoy. Really imagistic music that puts you right in the position of the protagonist for that particular song, feeling and experiencing exactly what they are. That's how vivid it is. Savagely underrated in my opinion because of the moods they create and the scenes that they set with their music. And who's singing their praises? Nowhere near enough people in my eyes. Check out Juggernaut, Itka, Wasted, Shush K with Potions and Pills, and their remix of Madonna's LFL. And lastly, we have Toronto-based Charlie Darker, whose brand of vomit step-infused electro is one of the most consistently brilliant styles I've ever heard. Deploying both house and breakbeat tempos to account for these gurgled sounds, not massively dissimilar to Botneck in that respect actually. Where he differs, however, and becomes unique in the process, is in his focus on these sounds in the drops themselves, isolating them in many cases to make them more emphatic. Bubbly and intense, full of glowing notes and muddy sounds, drums are guttural and fleshed out, the builds and intros are very well articulated too. Probably a good way for dubstep lovers to get into more electro-leaning styles of production now that I think about it. And talking of favourite drops ever, the second drop to his collaboration with Far Too Loud, Nail Gun, is certainly up there. Kind of get the impression that he's gone for the foreseeable future because he hasn't put anything out for a couple of years, but I would absolutely love for him to come back with some new stuff. And regardless, it's worth checking out his discography because it's fucking fantastic. He has so many good tracks. I said this earlier, but he is such a consistently brilliant producer. Underrated because several of his tracks are some of the most interesting to come out of the bass game this decade, and what recognition has he got for it? Not enough in my opinion. And if you want to get into his stuff, then for me the best representations of his style come across in Done Do It, Guns for Hire, Nail Gun with Far Too Loud, which I mentioned earlier, his remix of All About That Bass, yeah, that one, and HMF. And so that is that for this little change up of a video on 5 criminally underrated producers in the dark electronic music scene, in my eyes. Thank you very much, and as always, for tuning in. Are you guys fans of these producers? Do you too think they are criminally underrated? Who are some other producers who you think deserve way more attention? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to give it a big ol' thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, hitting the notification bell along the way so you can be notified whenever I upload to the Nawtystep channel. Next to my head there should be some examples of the other types of video on this channel, from EP and album reviews to event reviews to monthly roundups. I'm also likely to do another one of these very soon, so be on the lookout for that one when it comes out. And don't forget to like and follow Nawtystep across all social media if you haven't already. With everything linked, including the SoundCloud pages of all the artists mentioned, in the description box down below. And lastly, if it's naughty, then you know guys, so be sure as always to keep it naughty and stay safe. And I shall see you all in the next one. Peace out.